Hi, in this exercise we will be doing a sketching practical, and we will be using this new NX version 2008, so some of the features will be different compared to the older NX versions. So let's see how this will be done and take the practical forward. Okay, we will be starting by opening a new model item. Let's find a folder where to locate it or where to save it. Give the model a name, practical 2. We will be here in the modeling view. Okay, start, and we have the open model file. Okay, let's start sketching for the model. So first of all, we need to select the plane where we're going to be sketching. I'll be picking up this right plane here for the sketch, and we have the sketching environment open. Okay, let's first do some profile sketching. The final thing what we are targeting for is a profile, and now the part of this profile I want to end on the sketch origin, so I will be picking up from this list the sketch origin like that. Okay, the part of the sketch is ready, so I can just press escape button from the keyboard to end the selection. Now I want to correct this line to be horizontal, so I'll be selecting from here, from the geometric constraints, the horizontal constraint, and clicking by will change that to horizontal line. Okay, next up I will be drawing another line. This be sort of a mirroring line for the geometry, or support, let's say supporting line also. And I will change this line to a reference. So I clicked on the line, and here comes a selection. So I will convert it to a reference, and it will become this sort of a dashed line. Okay, now we will be drawing a circle, and we'll be starting the circle so that we select this line here, this horizontal line, and we draw the cursor. You see the dashed line that on the right side of the cursor. So we will be building a relation like with the horizontal line also. And now I can draw the circle up to the end of this vertical dashed line, and I can select the endpoint from this list like that. Now next up, I'll be moving this line a little bit, and then I will be drawing a line from this horizontal line to the circle, and I actually want this tangency constraint, and it will be showing that tangency constraint as you see there on the left side of this line. Now it's tangent, so I'll be selecting the point on curve, and that should be okay. Can be also made sure by selecting this make tangent motion curve. Click the center button of the mouse to approve the selection, and then the circle, and click the center button again. So it will be doing this tangent relation between those. Okay, we can also test the tangency constraint just by moving the circle, and you see that the line, tangent line, will change its orientation when the circle is moved. So the tangency constraint is active there. Now next up we'll be trimming this profile. So everything on the left side will be deleted. So I'll be selecting trimming tool, and just by clicking the lines which you want to delete, you can remove them. Now often it comes that you might be rotating this by pressing the center button in the mouse, and if you come up with this rotation and you want to return back to the original orientation, you can just press the right button of the mouse and select Orient View to Sketch to find the original orientation. Sometimes if you're too far fetched from the sketch, you can select again this right button of the mouse and select Fit, so it will bring you back to the size of the sketch. Next up, let's add some dimensions for this sketch. We want to constrain it fully, so we need to follow up also that it will become fully constrained. So let's start selecting those elements, and we can also, now I scaled down the sketch also by selecting yes on this question. So we will be adding those dimensions. You can move them also to a nice position, and I'll be continuing this dimensioning. Let's select these elements. That will be 80. And now you see that these lines which are black, they are already fully constrained, so they cannot be, the position cannot be changed anymore by those, but the red lines are still free to move. So if I want to still do some change on them, I can still influence them a little bit, like this part of the sketch, but the rest is already constrained. Now, what I still need here is a dimension, for example, from here to the end point there. And when I constrain this one, we do not have much freedom anymore left within the sketch, as you see. Now we are still missing some relations to this part of the sketch, and we will be actually need to constrain this point with the horizontal line. So if it was not constrained in the beginning of the sketch, it needs to be done latest by now. So it can be constrained with the coincident. So there is a possibility to make coincident constraints and point on curve constraints with this tool. So this will be a point on curve constraint. So I'll be selecting that, and now I need to select this part of the curve. As you see, the center point is there. So this arc center will be selected, and then the horizontal line here will be selected as a stationary curve. And when I press OK, now all the lines are black, so this curve or this sketch is fully constrained. So now we have sketched the outer side of the profile, and we still need to sketch the inner lines and do some modifications for this profile before we mirror it around this center line to complete the profile. So let's go ahead We can first modify a little bit this by selecting the arc tool and arc by center method selected. We'll be drawing an arc here at the end. So complete. And we will be trimming this profile a little bit. Now we can see again that some of the lines are free to move. So I'll be adding a dimension here. Let's say we have a 5mm or 10mm. Let's say we have a 10mm radius, and then the sketch is all again fully constrained. Next up, let's draw a line. This will be part of the inner lines of this profile, and we want to extend of this end of the line to here. So we can use extend tool, and this extend tool will be showing the location where it will be extended. So let's click OK. Next up, we'll be using this offset curve tool. So let's select the lines which we want to offset. We want to basically offset these lines and match them finally with this horizontal line here, which is still free. So offset curve, filtering method, I will be selecting here tangent curves. You could select also single curve method, but tangent curve is a little bit faster here on this area. And you see it will be offsetting both directions first. So we want to remove this selection, symmetric offset, to a single-sided offset. We can also change the value to 5mm and make sure that this create persistent relation is selected. If it was not selected, you need to restart selecting the lines before it will be enforced. And by selecting these lines, you see that the profile will be made, and then click OK. Now you can even edit this offset curve just by clicking on any of the lines. Double click it, and you'll see this offset curve again, this dialog, and you can just change, for example, the direction of the offset. So just by double clicking the line. Finally, let's extend this horizontal line to the offset curve lines and do some trimming to make a closed profile. So I'll be just finalizing this profile, and we are still missing some one dimension here, as you see. So let's add up that dimension to complete it. We can have, for example, 7mm there. So it's a little bit thicker on the bottom, this profile, but then 5mm from the rest of the profile. Now, next up, we will be doing some filleting of this profile. So we will be choosing the filleting tool. And let's start by adding up the outer fillets. Those should be around 10mm. That's one also 10mm. So you can just type in the value while you are pulling the fillet. You can type in the value from the keyboard. Oops. By pressing Ctrl-Z, you can go backwards. So that is the undo selection if you made a made a mistake. So now we have all the required fillets there. And let's practice a little bit how to make these relational values, so we can build a little bit of parametric values into this sketch, and let's demonstrate also that a little bit. So now we will be making the outer fillets relational to the inner fillets, and we can also state all these values with just one single value. So let's select this value as the controlling value, and I will select here from add remove expression. So it will add this RP1 equals to 5, and this expression, now it's a named expression, this value, and we can refer within the other values to this named expression. So now I will be actually telling this outer radius that it will be equal to the expression value P1 plus 5 millimeters. Start the formula with the equal character to make it expression value. Now it's changed. So this one will be following actually this value. So let's make the same for the rest. P1 equals to P1 plus 5. And these ones will be just P1. Equals to P1. So now we have a little bit of parametric control here. So all these values are relational to this single value, and when we change this one, the rest will follow. So as you see, we can just control all the values with the one single value. Okay, now our sketch is basically ready. The only thing we need to do is to mirror it to the other side to make a complete sketch. So let's use this mirroring tool, mirror curve, and now we need to select the method. So let's use tangent curves. That will be quick with the selection. So let's start by selecting the curves. Now when the tangent rule is selected, all the connected curves or which have tangent continuous will be following, so that will be easy. Remember to have a create persistent relation here in the settings, so that any changes done to this side will follow to the left side. Okay, click mouse center button and click the center line next, and the mirroring will be complete. And when the profile is closed, you see that it changed to this blue color, so that tells that we have a closed profile which can be used for extrusion. Now we can exit the sketch. We are ready with the sketch. We have exited, and now finally we will be just extruding. We can use this infer curves method that will select all the sketch curves. That's the simplest way in here. We could also select some other method, but that's the option. Other way is also to select the sketch from the history tree here in the path navigator. That will select the whole sketch, and we can type in the required values. So in one direction 200 millimeters, and in the opposite direction 200 millimeters. note that there is minus value, so that will tell it will be the opposite direction. And that's it. Click OK. Okay, finally, let's do one more sketch on this profile. We will be cutting away a little bit of material, and I'll be sketching sort of these cooling channels. Let's say that this the sides of this profile is opened, and we will be doing this pattern of cooling channels for this profile. So first up, let's draw a line. It will be this angular line. We don't need to define anything specific yet on it. And then let's go to the end of the line and sketch a profile there, like that. And we can give a dimension here also to the profile, 5 millimeters. We don't want to scale the sketch now. Next up, let's use a pattern curve method that will be tried out. And we will be doing a linear pattern here. First up, select the curves. And we need a direction. So we need to select some line which will be telling the direction. We can, for example, select that horizontal line there. And now the direction, we will need to change to the other direction, opposite. We want to have a pitch distance of 10 millimeters, and we can change the count to 20 instances. Let's check what other options we have. Okay, we have create persistent relation, have that on, and click OK. Now we may want to add some dimensions for this sketch before finalizing it. So we could add up, for example, the angular dimension here, let's say 10 degrees. And we may also need the distance from the center line. By the way, if you don't have the possibility to constrain to the original geometry, or you may want to constrain, let's say I would like to constrain the dimension, give the dimension from here to here. We need to go to the selection and get the filter, change the filter to this within work path only. So now we are able to give dimensions from the entire work path. And now I can constrain also this previous features. And I could change this dimension, let's say, to 20 millimeters. So now we are about ready with the dimensioning. We could add up also this vertical dimension here. 15 is okay. But next up we will be doing some trimming for the features. Now an easy way to trim away these features so that we get closed profiles. You can select the trimming tool, and then we can start by drawing by holding the mouse left button, and we can draw this trimming area just by freehand, just like that, and then wait for the tool to complete the trimming operations. If there is something left, then we need to, of course, trim the rest. So now we need to trim these open and finalize so that we get closed profiles here. This is a little bit takes a little bit of time to complete this part of the operation, but still it's quite fast. So now we see that those are blue, and that means that the profile are closed and can be used for extrusion. We are still missing some constraints there, as we see. The lines are brown, but let's use them still for now for this extrusion. We can close the sketch, come out of it, and now we can extrude both directions. And now, first of all, okay, this the whole sketch was selected. That's okay. The vector is okay. The direction. And finally, we need to select the subtract. So we want to remove material from this body. We can select OK. Now it looks fine. So we got this opening there. Now, if you want to take a look of your part from different directions, you can, here is the XYZ coordinate system. You can always select from these so that you can turn it around to different directions and test, see the part from different directions. You can also just do by clicking the center button and turn it around. And if you click when you are close to some orientation, you can press